Hello again. So today we're going to be reading one of the bedtime stories from the Treasury of Bedtime Stories. This is a very large book. We're going to start with the very first story in the Treasury, which is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Here we go. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Adapted by Jane Jerrard, illustrated by Burgandy Nilles. There once was a family of 3 bears. There was a great big papa bear, a middle-sized mama bear, and a wee little baby bear. The 3 bears lived in a cozy little house right in the middle of the forest. The 3 bears always started each day in the very same way. First, they washed their faces and paws with sparkling fresh water and sweet-smelling soap. Then they made their beds and fluffed their feather pillows. After they were dressed for the day, they went downstairs for a nice breakfast of delicious porridge. One bright morning, Mama Bear cooked the porridge and called her family for breakfast, just as she did every day, rain or shine. She spooned the porridge into their 3 bowls, and they all sat down to eat. "It's too hot!" exclaimed Baby Bear, tasting the porridge in his wee little bowl.
"We must let the porridge cool for a little while,"
agreed Papa Bear and Mama Bear. The 3 bears decided to go for a walk while their hot breakfast cooled. Mama Bear took her basket in case they happened to find ripe blackberries to put on top of their porridge. Now it just so happened that a little girl named Goldilocks was out walking in the woods that morning all by herself. She had been walking since quite early and was feeling rather tired. She was hungry as well because she had left her house without eating breakfast. When Goldilocks saw the bears' little house, she thought it was the perfect place to rest. Goldilocks marched up to the front door and knocked. But there was no answer. The bears were still out taking their walk. So Goldilocks just let herself in. Goldilocks saw the 3 bowls of porridge. Her mouth started to water and her stomach started to rumble at once. She decided that she simply must taste the porridge. First, she dipped the spoon into the great big bowl that belonged to Papa Bear. "Ooh, this porridge is too hot!" she cried. Next, she tried the middle-sized bowl that belonged to Mama Bear. "This porridge is too cold," she said. Last, she had a taste from the wee little bowl that belonged to Baby Bear. "This porridge is just right," she said, and she gobbled it all up. After she had eaten the porridge, Goldilocks wanted to rest. She went into the bears' sitting room, where she saw 3 chairs. First, she sat down in the great big chair. "This chair's too hard," she said. Next, she tried the middle-sized chair. "This chair is too soft," she said, struggling to get out. Last, she tried the wee little chair that was just the right size for her to sit in. "This chair is just right," she smiled. But Goldilocks sat down so hard that the wee little chair broke all to pieces. By this time, Goldilocks was very sleepy. She tiptoed up the stairs and found 3 beds. First, she laid down on the great big bed. "This bed is too high at the head," she said. Next, she tried the middle-sized bed. "This bed is too high at the foot," she frowned. Last, Goldilocks laid down on Baby Bear's wee little bed, and she said, "This bed is just right." Soon Goldilocks fell fast asleep. A short time later, the 3 bears returned home from their walk. They noticed right away that things were not quite right. Papa Bear looked at his great big bowl of porridge and said in his great big voice,
"Someone has been eating my porridge."
Mama Bear looked at her middle-sized bowl of porridge and said in her middle-sized voice, "Someone has been eating my porridge." Baby Bear looked at his wee little bowl and said in his wee little voice, "Someone has been eating my porridge and has eaten it all up." The 3 bears then went into their sitting room. When he saw his great big chair, Papa Bear said in his great big voice,
"Someone has been sitting in my chair."
Mama Bear looked at her middle-sized chair and said in her middle-sized voice, "Someone has been sitting in my chair." Baby Bear looked at his wee little chair and cried in his wee little voice, "Someone has been sitting in my chair and has broken it all to pieces." The 3 bears went up the stairs to their bedroom. Papa Bear looked at his great big bed and said in his great big voice,
"Someone has been sleeping in my bed."
When Mama Bear looked at her middle-sized bed, she said in her middle-sized voice, "Someone has been sleeping in my bed." Baby Bear looked at his wee little bed and cried in his wee little voice, "Someone has been sleeping in my bed." And there she is. Baby Bear's wee little voice woke Goldilocks up. She sat up to find 3 bears staring at her. They did not look pleased to see her. Quick as a wink, she rolled out of bed, ran straight to the window. She jumped right out and ran as fast as her legs would carry her. The 3 bears never saw Goldilocks again. And that's the end of our tale. Thank you for joining me for another reading. If it's bedtime, get plenty of sleep tonight, and if it's not, have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching.